Hi guys, this is my first Q&A video, so I really hope you will like it. I actually asked you on Instagram to ask me some questions, and here I select a bunch of questions actually that I really found interesting to share with you. So before starting, I am actually in India in the Himalayan mountain here in Dharamshala. I actually struggle a bit to find a quiet place to do my video because India is really noisy and we are actually very early at the morning as well, so it's cool. As well, the sun is going up, so maybe I'm gonna have to move in the video. I don't know. So let's start with the first questions. How do you decide your next destinations? I have a lot of destinations I dream about. Those destinations are definitely on the top list. I'm traveling full time, so I just figure out where I am right now and where I can go for cheap. Like for example, I was working in Australia. It would have been very expensive for me to go to Latin America. Also, I don't choose one country especially. I usually choose a bunch of countries. Like here I choose India, but India come also with Nepal, Pakistan, and probably China. So usually I'm not only visiting one country, I'm visiting the whole area. I also don't like take so many flights, so usually when there is country around, I like to cross border by land, which is not the case here. And because they closed the border of Pakistan recently, I will have to fly as well. But usually I really prefer to cross the border by land. This is what I did when I chose Southeast Asia. I went to Thailand and then I crossed the border to Laos, then Vietnam, then Cambodia, Malaysia, and Indonesia, and all of those things I did it only by land. I'm not taking flight, so in the meantime I can reduce a little bit my carbon footprint, even though by the travel I did is still a little bit higher, but I still have this in mind and try to do my best for that. This question you've been a lot to asking me about: how do you deal with loneliness while exploring remote places? When you sign up to travel solo, you sign up for loneliness as well. Loneliness is different than being alone. I'm never alone. I'm always surrounded by a lot of other travelers. I make new friends everywhere I go. But the feeling of loneliness, yeah, all the time. You don't have people to share your experience with. Usually the traveler you meet, you only travel for a short time with them, and after you get back alone, so you have to deal with your feeling of loneliness, especially after meeting a bunch of friends and you have to go back on the track alone. That's the hardest point. Yeah, it's mostly your travel, your adventures is you with yourself. But this is the point, and this is exactly why I'm doing that. I used to be so afraid of loneliness before starting traveling, and I hate when a fear stops me from my goal. So I just decided to fight this, and traveling alone is the best way to reconnect with loneliness. And I think it's really important in life to be able to be comfortable alone. Because even without traveling, a lot of situations in life can happen or you have to face loneliness. For example, when you grow up, you can start losing friends and then find yourself alone. This is what's happened to most of the people I know who grew up, and even to myself. You can also spend many years with a boyfriend and a girlfriend, and all of a sudden you broke up and you have to deal with yourself. You have to be alone. If you are not used to be alone, if you don't feel comfortable with yourself, it's gonna be super hard. So I always think in life it's super important to be comfortable with loneliness. And I think this is what solo traveling can bring to you. You don't have to travel many years like me as a solo traveler, you can also take a few months, but it teaches you a lot. And actually today I love to be alone. Sometimes I meet people, I have friends who join me in my travel. It's super enjoyable for a time, but after a few weeks I'm like, I wanna be alone again. Because by doing that you get to appreciate your own company. I think it's really great. I like to take myself on a date, go alone on a restaurant, go hiking alone, go explore new places. I'm just diving into my thoughts. A lot of people are scared about that. Because when you are alone you start to think a lot. I think that's good because you can figure out a lot of things by yourself. So loneliness is the best way to learn how to love yourself. Okay, sun start to be strong, so I just gonna move to another places. This is better. I don't know if you can see behind. This way there going through a waterfall, and the city over there is Baksu. It's beautiful. We are surrounded by mountains, waterfall. There's a lot of hiking to doing here. So it's a really peaceful place in India, and it's really good because India can be super overwhelming at some point. And by the way, I found some questions about India I'm gonna answer to. What did India bring you personally? Well, India teach me a lot, but not in the way I was expecting. Before coming here, everyone told me, oh, India will change you. So I really believe that. A lot of people found peace here in India. So naturally, when I came, I was expecting that. But I came in India, it was a total chaos. Really, people everywhere, traffic in the streets, you cannot even walk, honking all the time. And at first it was funny because you just experience a new things, a new culture. But after a few days, and especially a few weeks, it really gets into my nerve. So I was constantly angry all the time because of the noise, the honking, the people who come to talk to you every 2 minutes in the street. You cannot even wander by yourself. There is always something who gets to annoy you. So at this point I was like, where is this peace that everyone came to find out here? And after a few weeks of getting angry all the time, I just getting tired of that. I was like, there is no point to be angry. The situation is like this. This is chaotic and it's not gonna change. And be mad and scream won't change anything at the situation. So I just decided to let it go. And actually I found peace in the chaos, but inside of me. I just decided to live with the situations and that it was no point to be mad. So I just found a way to relax and just take it as an ephemeral experience. And I think that I'm more calm in my daily life. I called my mother last time and she told me, oh, your voice is very different, it's very calm. I think that's what India did to me. It also taught me to be more humble, more empathic, because when you get to India, there is a lot of poverty here. So you just realize how lucky you are in life and how a lot of people don't have the same chance that you have to be here, to be able to travel the world, to have a comfortable life, to have all your family alive. This is a huge chance. And to be born in the country you are born, because with the passport I have, I can do that. A lot of people in the world cannot. And this is important to realize that. India trains a lot your feeling of compassion. But it's still hard to see, and I think it's very important because from the Western world, we usually live in a bubbles. We often hear in the news that people are struggling, people are poor in Africa or in India or wherever there is, but you don't see it. So you don't really realize it. You just hear it at the news and you go back to your routine. Once you see it, you think about that pretty often actually. So yeah, in a certain way, India changed you. What would you change in your trip in India if you could? Nothing. To be honest, I really love my travel to India. I think I did pretty well with all the organizations to navigate through this chaos. Even though it was a lot of difficult situations, I did it pretty well. And I think that's also because I'm used to travel. I've been to Egypt last year and it was way more chaotic. I mean, Cairo was way more chaotic. But I do have some recommendation. I think India is not a travel for beginner. I think you should travel some country before try India. It's not a dangerous place. Like, I felt very safe in India. It's just a whole mess. So it's very complicated to book a bus, to book a hostel, to book everything. Yeah, and it's overwhelming. So no, I won't change anything. What did you like and what did you not like about India? It's really hard to understand each other of the way of living because we have a completely different educations. We don't see respect in the same way, and that's something is very hard to me. For example, as a Westerners, respect people's sleep is the basis of respect. And in India, not that much. So I slept in few dorms here in India and it's always filled with Indian tourists because they love to travel in their country. And every single night, I couldn't sleep. Indian people enter the room at 1 a.m., turn on the light, speaking loud, talking at phone at the morning in the room. This is so irrespectful as a Westerners, but here it's normal. And you cannot say anything because you are not in your country. You are in their country, so you have to adapt. But I find this super hard to be honest. There is quite few nights I had to say something because you try to sleep and it's 3 a.m. and there is a bunch of people who talk loud and call at the phone and doesn't care if you are sleeping sleeping just next to. And this is really something really hard to understand to me. As well, everyone come to talk to you in the street, and even worse, they ask you to do selfie with them. This is something we don't do in Western world, and in anywhere else I've been in the world I never saw that. And this is something I found it really hard because I like to be by myself, wandering around and not be annoyed every 2 minutes, because it's every 2 minutes. It's not like just few times. At the beginning it was really cool. A few people get to you and ask for selfie. Okay, but once you say yes to some people, there is like everyone's coming and it's never ending. It's never ending. I figured out how to deal with the chaos in India, but I still haven't figured out to deal with honking. Here there is traffic everywhere and people honk all the time for no reason. Really for no reason. It's just, hey, I'm here. They honking all the time, all the time, all the time. And it's really painful, especially because I am very sensible here. So I had to walk in the street with earplugs because it's everywhere like this. Doesn't matter if you go to a big city or a small village, it's honking, honking, honking. And that's probably the things I hate the most about India. And the things I love about India, people are actually really nice. Anytime you need help, they are here to help you. They are so welcoming, a bit too much sometimes, but I really love it. I love the architectures, I love the temple, I love the food. My God, the food is so good in India. It's one of the best food in the world. And almost everything is vegetarian, which is really great because I'm vegetarian. So for once in my life, I don't have to check everything on the menu to be sure there is no meat inside. I just pick something and I'm sure it's vegetarian, and that's so nice for me. As well, it's weird, but I love the chaos here. Not the honking, but the chaos. It's the thing that is weird with India. You can hate it and love it in the same time. It's something I cannot explain. But above all, yeah, I really love India. So now we're gonna talk a little bit more about myself. What gave you the motivation to do the step to change your life? It's a super huge question. I don't have enough time with this video to talk about that. First of all, I had the chance to have my parents who traveled when I was young, so they take me and my sister with them. I remember my first backpacking travel with my parents was in Thailand. I had 17 years old, and this is at this very first moment that I fell in love with the way of traveling as a backpacker. I really love to be in this environment and I have to navigate it, find accommodations, find the food. You live the present moment, and I really realized that at this moment, thanks to my parents. And after my studies, I went to live in Ireland, in Dublin, because I wanted to learn English. I was terrible in English at this moment. So I spent 6 months there and I really pushed my boundaries because I didn't know how to speak English. I arrived in a country I didn't know anything about. I had to find a job and an apartment. It was so challenging. It was so hard actually, and I really love to challenge myself that way. I really felt the learning process, the fact that I'm growing up, and I fell in love with that. So just after that, I booked a backpack and a tent and I went to a solo trip to Scandinavia. I've been to Norway, Finland, Sweden by myself, and I lived the most amazing experience ever. I had no money with me, like just a little bit for eat. I slept outdoor in a tent and as well in a people place. And at this very moment, I really fell in love with the way of traveling alone. You are in a country you don't know anything about and you have to find yourself a shelter for the night, food. You always have to do something. You are always stimulated and you grow and you learn things all the time. I never felt much happier than there. It was amazing. Do you ever feel lonely and wish you had a travel partner, love partner with you? I was thinking about that recently. When you feel lonely, you know, you are like, yeah, I wish I could have someone who travel with me, a lover or a partner. And I just realized this is not the moment at all. For the moment, I love traveling alone and I just don't have any time and any space in my life for a partner. I'm still on the way to my world tour and there is still so many things I want to do before being with someone. Like here in India, I love to travel alone here and I want to hike alone. I really want to be alone. I want to discover the culture by myself. I don't want to be with someone there. It's just not what I want right now. But yeah, one day, maybe, I hope I can find someone I love and someone who loves travel as well and who will be happy to share all this experience with me. I used to train myself to feel comfortable with loneliness, but I think now in my life I feel way too comfortable with that. I really love to be alone. Okay guys, I'm gonna have to come back to my accommodations because my battery is very low. I'm actually talking so much. In the same time, I'm gonna show you the place I sleep and we're gonna continuing the Q&A there. Okay, let's go, come with me. Up. By the way, look at the place. Oh, so many sand. Okay, let's go. So we are back here in the place where I stayed for 1 week here in Dharamshala, and we're gonna continue the Q&A. So next question. There is a place that made you feel, well, I would live here. Actually all the time. Definitely here in Dharamshala I was thinking if I would live somewhere in India, it would be here because it's mountains, nature is beautiful. But it's happened in few places as well. In the Amazon, curiously, a lot of places I was like, I would love to live here. In some places in Colombia and a lot in Mexico as well. It does happen sometimes in Australia as well, but yeah, it does happen all the time, especially when I'm surrounded by mountain nature or sometimes the beach. I really love the nature, and if I have to settle down somewhere one day, I would be surrounded by nature for sure. So it's come with a very similar question, where do you want to live? Actually, I don't know, but I think about so many places because I'm still young right now, but obviously will come a day where I will want to settle down somewhere. And as I get close to 30, I start to think about it. So from all the country I've been so far, the country I will mostly see myself living in, it will be Mexico, I think, because I really fell in love with the culture and nature there. People are always happy, there is always party happen there. But at the same time, I don't think so I will live there for very long. I think when I will get very old, or maybe not that old, I would love to buy a piece of land somewhere in Europe, in the mountains, far from everything, I think, surrounded by natures, probably build my own house, growing my own vegetables, having my animals, some dogs, cow, goat, I don't know. Yeah, this is definitely something I would love, but later. For now, I want to use that time when I'm healthy and young to travel the world, to go to remote places, to discover everything, learn as much as I can, and probably when I will get older, I will want to settle down somewhere peaceful. But it will be probably Europe because, you know, as you travel so much, you usually come back where you come from. And if I have to settle down somewhere, I want to be close to my family. I'm not sure if we're gonna be in France, but for sure somewhere in Europe. So yeah, nature first for sure, and probably Europe because as a European it's easier for me to settle there for a long time. But before that, I really considered about moving to Mexico sometimes. Oh, that's a really good one. What have you learned about yourself traveling that you wouldn't have learned at home? I mostly learned that I'm way much stronger than I thought I was. Be able to challenge myself that much, to push my boundaries, to travel in every places, it's demanding you a lot of strength and a lot of courage. And I didn't know before that I had this in me. I was this very shy little boy that couldn't talk to anybody before starting to travel. My first traveling, I went in a country without booking nothing, just me, my backpack and my tent. And I figured out during 2 months where to sleep, where to eat, without even any money. So after you doing that, you just realize how strong you are. But not just me, I think that everybody have this strength in themselves, and you just start realizing it when you start to challenge yourself, when you start to push your boundary. And I think that traveling and traveling solo is a great way to push your boundary like this. you will just realize that you are super strong, that you can do almost everything that you want. So my strength, my resilience, and my courage is the things I mostly realize during traveling. We're gonna talk a bit about happiness. So where was the place you felt the happiest? It was a lot of places. To be honest, I think directly Latin America. This is definitely a place I felt so much happy. I still feel happy everywhere I'm going, but there's a special vibe that I love. People are always super happy to live. They are always smiling, always ready to go on party. Yeah, always super nice. The nature are beautiful there. I always feel super comfortable there. I think it's very a culture that's sweet to me. And I wish all the time, actually every time I hear someone speaking Spanish, that I can come back there. That's why also I think to move to Mexico, maybe Colombia. I love that place so much. It teaches me a lot on myself and I felt so happy all the time. I know most of you wasn't following me when I was in Latin America. I was mostly doing video on YouTube as well. You can watch my previous video about there. But I wish I can come back there and show you more on those beautiful places. So one last question still about happiness. It's a huge one. What's your perceptions of happiness? I believe that happiness is a state of mind that everybody can reach it. Doesn't matter where you come from, doesn't matter what you struggle with. I think that everybody can reach it. I think among that, being positive in every circumstance is something that really will help you to be happy all the time. Because if you are positive, even if you struggle with someone, if you face difficulty, you will get over it. You will not stay stuck at the first obstacle. Because life is made with a lot of obstacles. And the goal is to go over it. You cannot spend a life without suffering. It's part of the life. What will make you a happy person? It's your ability to get over the difficulty you face off, to get over your suffering, to don't stay stuck in your problem. Also learn and don't repeat the same mistake. It's something that will make you grow and you will get happier. I also believe that happiness comes with the bond you create around you. Your family, your friendship, your loved one. This is something so important to create those relationships in life. It will bring more love in your life and will put you in a state of mind of compassion. I definitely believe, and in the Buddhist culture as well, that compassion brings happiness. In Buddhist culture, they believe that the three poisons of mind that get you away from happiness are ignorance, craving, and hatred. And I believe it's true because when you have this state of mind, you are constantly in a negative mindset, and that will get you away from your happiness. And also do what you love in life. Doesn't matter what the society, what your family wants you to do. Follow your dream, do what you like. Life is a journey and it's not easy. And that's what makes the things beautiful. Because once you will reach your goal, you will watch all the path you did and you will be so proud of yourself and you will be happy. I can talk so much more about happiness. There is so much things to considerate to build a happiness state of mind. So keep a positive state of mind. Try to learn as much as you can in life. Experience life in its fullest. Experience every human emotion, the good one but also the bad one. Because this is what makes life rich. And do what you love. Always follow your dream and do what you love. This is my definition of happiness. So that's it for the question. I hope you really love this Q&A video. It was my first one, so I struggled a little bit to film it, but if you like it, I'm gonna try to do one in every country I go to visit, almost, if I can get the time, but I would love to do that again. I personally really love to do it. I think it gets you to know a little bit more who am I, and I can maybe teach you a little bit about what I learned from my travel as well. If you like that I do again more of that video, let me know in the comments, and of course you can let a like, you can follow if you haven't done yet, and me, I'm gonna catch you in the next adventure actually. Oh, and I forgot to answer to one question. Where are you going next? So I am actually in India for 2 more weeks, and after I finally decide, after many thinking, I'm gonna fly to Nepal. And it's gonna be beautiful. I'm gonna do a lot of hiking, a lot of trekking alone. I love to be alone, as you know. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna film that. So stay connected and I'm gonna catch you in the next adventure. Ciao.